Hey, Squirrel, hey, let me tell you what happened. I got scammed, y'all. Like, usually I am on my shit. And, like, if this situation had happened to my mother, I would be roasting her for being so foolish as to fall for a scam like this. And I did it. Hook, line, and sinker. So I've been doing what I can to make ends meet since I lost my main delivery job. And my backup right now is a food delivery app. So yesterday I was at a Wendy's picking up an order, and while I was at that Wendy's, I got a notification in the app that someone else in the same neighborhood wanted an order and asked me if I wanted to accept that stacked order. Excuse me. So I accepted it because I'm like, duh, if we're going to the same neighborhood, why not? So I accepted the offer. Not even a minute later, I get a text message from the second stop on this now order, and they say, I'm canceling the order. So I said, okay, no problem. And then I got a follow-up text message that said, support's going to be calling you in a minute. And I'm like, that's weird that the customer would be saying that, right? But I'm like, all right, whatever. I don't know how this works. I'm new, right? I'm new here. So a minute later, I get a phone call on my phone with a DoorDash call ID. So I picked it up. The guy on the line verifies my account, shows me how to go into the menu and cancel the second order without my rating being impacted. He says, well, you should be a platinum. He says, I don't understand in our system why we don't have you as a platinum. Let me go ahead and upgrade you. And while we're doing that, you should get a $100 bonus, but I need your red card information. Now, the red card is the card that comes with that app. And that red card is for when you're doing like grocery shopping for a customer and you use that prepaid card to purchase their order. But I don't use that card because I'm not doing people's grocery shopping, because I heard a horror story once that this lady was like, I went to go do the food shopping and it was like a $300+ order. And then when she went to check out, there was nothing on the red card. So she called support, and support was like, pay for it out of your pocket and we'll reimburse you. And I was like, we're not doing that. Like, we're not doing that. We're just not doing that. So he's insisting that I find my red card. And I'm like, sir, it's at home. I'm not going to be looking for it. I'm not going to be activating it. Like, we're not doing that. He's like, well, I'm going to pay you out for this delivery and we need to put it on a debit card. So I need you to give me a card number. My dumb ass did. I gave him my card number. I spelled my name out for his ass like 8 times. I blame it on the copious amounts of stress that I'm going through right now, that I wasn't thinking straight, because I literally gave that man all the information. At one point, like once I gave him that, he's like, oh, is there any changes to the account? Any changes to the account? I'm like, no. He goes, okay, ma'am, what's the balance on the account? I said, I'm not telling you that. It's like the one functioning brain cell that I had finally started to like spark and try to turn on. And it was like, that's too far. Like, that was the thing that was too far. Not the card number, not the name, not the expiration date, none of that stuff. Asking for my balance. That was what took it too far for me. So anyways, there were no changes to my account. Like, nothing was taken. I ended up ending the call because I did have an order in my car and I wanted to get the food to this woman before it was ice cold, but he wanted me to sit in my car and wait for a change to the account. I'm like, I gotta go. So I eventually ended up hanging up the call because I needed to take care of my customer and I didn't have time for this bullshit. So that might have been the thing that saved it. I don't know, but I still gave him my information. So anyways, it wasn't sitting right with me, and I've checked my account multiple times since yesterday and all day today. And while there were no fraudulent activities on my account, I still felt the need to call DoorDash and be like, did y'all call me? So of course I called them, and they were like, "Man, we never ask for your personal information, so you need to hang up with us and call your bank right now." So I did. Called the bank, did a fraud check. There was no suspicious activity today and yesterday, but we're still going to keep a very close eye on the account. And in the meantime, all of my bills got to get paid tomorrow, because if anything happens, oh my God. Oh my God. Like, I should be paying my bills probably right now. I should probably go on and pay my mortgage and the big ones just to make sure that those are covered. But my dumb ass did that. I'm in shock that I was so stupid to fall for that crap. Don't be stupid like me and use your common sense. Okay, love you. Peace out, squirrels. Bye.
Okay, so here are a few more red flags when it comes to these Cash App scammers, PayPig scammers, Sugar Daddy scammers. These are the things that you need to look out for. And I might be doing several of these videos because I know not everybody is going to see these, but I do think it's important to at least get it out there. If someone is really quick to comment on your Cash App handle on a post, it's a scam. It's a scam. And it's especially a scam if you see that same person commenting, I've got shorts on, commenting on everybody's Cash App. It's the same person, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, scam. The other thing that you will notice is when you get into Telegram, which they will always ask you to go to WhatsApp or Telegram, when they're typing and it's in normal font. And then when they start getting ready to do the business and charge you the fee, all of a sudden you're going to get a copy pasted message about that long that's in bold. That is copy paste because they do it all the time because they're constantly scamming people. So watch out for that. The other thing is when you guys are having conversations and they say okay a lot, OKAY, when they spell it out a lot, that's another red flag. Also, one thing I've noticed that they are starting to do, they're switching it up because they're starting to talk with each other because we're starting to talk with each other. They're switching things up. So instead of laying it all out up front like they used to, they're now leading you to believe that they're going to send you something. They're going to be like, hey, babe, I want to send you money. Okay. There's the okay. What is your Cash App? So automatically, to somebody who's not been doing this for a minute, that would look like they're about to send me money. Give them your Cash App handle, and then they say, okay, 1 second. So you're like, oh my God, they're about to send me money. They're not. What they're doing is creating a fake screenshot of your Cash App profile. And that's why it takes a couple of minutes, because they already have the template. They just have to transfer your picture and your name onto it. So that's why it takes about a minute. And then they'll send you a screenshot. Is this you? Please confirm that it's you. And then you say yes. And that is when they send you the long, bold paragraph of how you need to pay their attorney fee of $50, and it's a trust fee and all this other bullshit. Red flag, right? So red flag after red flag after red flag. There's more, and I'm going to do more videos on this. Just pay attention. Don't get excited. Don't waste your time on any sort of TikTok type Telegram communications, because they're 100% scams. These other creators that are getting money off of this, I don't know where they're going to get it, but it's definitely not on TikTok. Don't let them fool you to believe that it's all through TikTok, because it's not. I mean, it makes me mad. Is there a 0.001% that maybe has gotten blessed with the Cash App from time to time? Absolutely. But the rest of it is scams. So don't get fooled.
Ready with me while I talk about the time I got scammed and bought $1,200 worth of gift cards for my so-called boss. So after applying to like tons of places, I finally got an internship, but this was like my very first time ever kind of entering the like real work world. And it was like a pretty good firm too. So I was like super excited that like I had gotten this opportunity. And on my first day of work, I went there, got everything set up. It was a super casual day, met everybody. And the boss, super friendly. He's talking to me at my desk, like the CEO, like the man whose name is the company. He went to the same school as me. We're just like chatting it up. He's super cool. I feel like this is just like an important aspect to the story because a lot of people are like, why would the head person be like reaching out to you, the intern? And so I just want to like make sure we understand the relationship here. Like he was very much like involved. So it's day 2 of the internship. I have a normal day at work. I get home, I take a shower. I'm just like, you know, getting ready to settle in for the night. And when I get out of the shower, I have a text from my boss. And the text says something along the lines of just like, hey Lauren, it's blank. I was wondering if you could do a huge favor for me. And so in my head, I'm like, oh my God, it's my second day. He needs me to do this big favor. Like, of course I'm gonna do this favor for my boss. He tells me that he's in like a client meeting and that he needs me to go get him gift cards to like give to the clients at the end of the meeting. And he can't do it because he's like in the meeting. And of course he's like, you know, this is a task that I need done like pretty well. Like it needs to kind of be within this like meeting I'm having, so you basically have like an hour to do it. So I run out to my parents and I'm like, oh my God, my boss just like texted me this, like I've got to go to Walmart right now and go buy these gift cards. And I have like a towel on my head. I just got out of the shower, like things were hectic. And my dad, of course, he's like laughing. He's like, oh my God, like the intern, they're like bossing you around, making you go do like the little chores, like, you know, sucks for you. So I speed my way down to Walmart looking like a wet rat. And I'm like, okay, what do you need? Like, what gift cards? And he's like, well, I need them in denominations of like $100. And I'm like, oh God, like I'm poor at this time. Like, I don't really have money. He's like, don't worry, I'll like, we'll like add this to your paycheck. Like, you'll get the money back ASAP. Just like, make sure to keep the receipts. So I'm like, well, how many gift cards do you need? And he's like, give me like $500 worth. And I'm like, oh God, like that's my whole bank account. But okay, so I buy $500 worth. And he's like, I need you to send me the codes on the back right now so we can like, I can give them to them while I'm here, which like doesn't make sense now, but at the time I was just like, okay, whatever. So I go sit outside Walmart, scratch off the backs, send pictures, and he's like, I need you to go buy more. So I go back inside and I'm like, okay, how much more? He's like, $200. I'm like, okay. So I go to buy more and it's like not working because I don't have enough money. So I call my parents, I'm like, hey, I don't have enough money, they're gonna pay me back. So my parents send me money to buy these gift cards. So now my bank account drained. My parents are sending me money to buy these gift cards. And then it starts giving me these like alerts on the screen and I have to get like a worker to come over and I'm like, no ma'am, like this is not a scam, like this is my boss, this is all super legit, like I promise, like I know this looks kind of sketchy, but like it's not. The whole time too, I'm also like messaging my boyfriend, telling him all this is going on. I'm like, this is crazy, like whatever, telling all my friends, my parents, everybody's involved. And so then she lets me get the gift cards. I get like $200 worth more. I go back in, I have to get 200 more. He keeps sending me back for more. And after $1,200, like, they're like, we can't, like, it's not working, like call your bank. So I'm calling my bank, nobody's answering. And I get this pit in my stomach. And I'm like, wait, like this doesn't feel right. And so I just like freak out and I stop replying. He's like texting me. He's like, where's the money? I need it now. It's urgent. And I'm like, is this a scam? And this was before like this was like a big thing. Like this was very early on. And so I go home, I start crying and realize it's all a scam. My mom calls the FBI. She calls him. She's like, I'm gonna call the FBI on you. I'm like, okay, well, that's not gonna do anything. But yeah, and I was leaving for Hawaii like the very next day and I had no money. All accounts were drained. Never got the money back. It was super traumatizing and I never told my boss about it because I was embarrassed and he was too nice. So yeah, that's the story. At the end of it, everybody was like, oh my God, of course this was a scam. How did you not see it? And I'm like, how did I not see it? How did you not see it? How did my boyfriend not see it? How did my parents not see it? Everyone was involved. So yeah, just a fun little thing that happened to me and traumatized me as soon as I entered the workforce.
What the hell? What the hell? What the hell y'all say?
My washer is loud as hell, but get ready with me while I tell you about the time that I think me and my sister were gonna get like kidnapped or something. So I was maybe like 18 And I just got hip to like Model Mayhem. If you know, it's like a website you get approved and you can like collab with photographers, models, makeup artists, all that fun stuff. So I get an email and it was saying that I got chosen for this audition that was going to be on a really huge magazine. I forgot what magazine it named, but it sounded all legit and I was so excited and I was like thinking I'm about to be Beyonce. So I get all the info, like the address and everything, the time, and I get so excited. I tell my sister and I'm like, you know, you have to come with me. Maybe there's an opportunity for you as well. And we're both dumb and naive at this point that she's down to go with me. So the day comes and we go and we pull up to the address, which actually was like an office building. Like it looked legit. So we're like, okay, cool, bet. So I'm trying to contact the people with the info I have and nobody's responding, right? So I'm like, okay, I guess we just like knock on the door, like we walk in, right? So we knock on the door and a few young guys open. It looked like a band or something, like they had instruments with them. Now, this is where me and my sister start to realize something just ain't right. We're like, oh, we're here for the audition. They're like, okay. Like, they seem kind of confused, but they're like, okay. So they have us walk in. I shit you not, you guys. This was like the scary movies. Like, you walk in, it was a hall. Every type of machinery, a chainsaw, hammers, like everything on this wall. It was like a tool shed, but like a warehouse full of them. So as we're walking in the hall, my sister in Arabic, she tells me like, la wala badish, like that means like, no girl, like I don't want this no more. And I'm just quiet and I'm like hoping that I'm wrong because I'm thinking this is my big break. And I'm like, I hope I didn't just get us into some shit. So they take us up these stairs and into this like little ass room, right? And they leave us in there and they're like, you know, give us a second. So at this point, me and my sister are like, we're fucked. Like, we're in this fucking room. Are we locked in? Like, we're just panicking, but we don't know what the hell to do. So after a few minutes of freaking out, waiting for them, they come back and they're like, the address actually changed. Here's the address. Like, this is where the audition is now. So now me and my sister are all relieved. We're like, okay, we were tripping. It's at a different location. So let's be naive again and go to the other location. So we get to the new address, guys. And as we get there, we're like, wait, bitch. Is this a fucking residential? Like, is this a home address? Because we're going through neighborhoods. So we finally pull up to the address, y'all. And yeah, it's a house. A house. The garage was open. There was a boat in there. We looked at it, and that's when finally it clicked. What the F is going on? So, bitch, I didn't even stop. I didn't even give them that time of day. We just passed right by. My sister turns around and she takes a picture of my back seat to show the house. And she's like, we just need to remember that we did this dumb shit for the rest of our life. And she's like, and we're never going to tell anybody about it. So honestly, up until now, we have not told anybody about it. We were so embarrassed. But yeah, you guys, that photo's buried within like thousands and thousands of photos. But I will find it and I will post it in a separate post so y'all can just see. Okay, you guys, but honestly, I'm not gonna lie. To this day, I wonder what was that? Like, what was gonna go down? Mind you, I've learned from that. I learned like how to freaking know when an email is a scam or not. And if it sounds too good to be true, it kind of probably is. So you guys learn from me. If you're young and naive, do not believe those emails, okay? Do your research. And yeah, comment below what you think that was because I'm still confused.
Yesterday, I got scammed by a second-time client for a FS service. So I'm in Melbourne for this week, right? And yesterday I met up with a second-time client. The first time we had met was in Brisbane, and then yesterday, rush because I have a booking in literally 10 minutes. So the first time we met a couple of months ago, no issues at all, seemed like a decent guy. I wasn't uncomfortable with him whatsoever, so I didn't mind meeting him again yesterday. Actually pre-booked this service on Sunday, so he paid a deposit. So when he was making his payment, he was like, oh, can I pay my deposit via Pay ID? And that was my mistake over there. So in this industry, never accept Pay ID, always accept BIMIT, because in that way payment cannot be reversed. So that's on me. Anyways, so I was like, okay, sure. So he gave me an excuse saying that something is up with his BIMIT. And silly me thinking, oh, I already met him once, no issue. So I said, yeah, that's fine. So he booked a PSE service, which was $1,200 for him. So on Sunday, he paid like $100 deposit, and fast forward yesterday, we meet up. And then when we actually met up, he was like, oh, can I pay ID you the rest of the $1,100? And I'm like, okay, fine. At first I was hesitant, but then I did not have issues with him in the past. So I was like, yeah, sure. It's fine. You can pay ID me the rest of the $1,100. Just do my wing off camera. Anyways, after our service, everything is fine. We're having a really good conversation, and he leaves. He was like saying that he has to fly in the state for work. Like, I didn't pay attention too much to what he was saying, and he leaves. Right? Didn't think too much for it. Afternoon, check my email, and in my email, I received a email from my bank saying that there was this $100 transaction into your business account where the person has stated that he mistakenly transferred it. So when I saw my email, I got super confused because there were a couple of transactions of deposits sent to my account. And I was like thinking, who must be this? Like, I was very confused for a second that what is actually going on, because it has never happened with me where this sort of reversal transaction occurred. And then 20 minutes later, I received another email stating that there has been $1,100 sent to your account, which was mistakenly sent by this person. And then automatically I knew it was this guy. I messaged this guy like, what is going on? Like, I was gonna be talking to the bank. If it really comes to need, I will be talking to the police. And what he sends me is, who is this? So by now I know that he's just messing with me. Anyways, so I sent an email yesterday to my bank with text messages as evidence that, he received the service and he willingly paid for it, because that's one thing I always keep track, text messages from clients, because I always thought a similar situation like this would occur, and it eventually did. I sent the email, and then this morning I was on call with them stating that I do not authorize this, and they were like, yeah, sure, and they canceled his request. Honestly, this is solely on me. I made the mistake of trusting a returning client, taking pay ID when the standard form of payment in this industry is BIMIT when it comes to deposits, and the rest is cash, and you can like deposit into your business account however you like. Yeah, so this is solely on me. It was really frustrating because when I received that email yesterday, it was quite frustrating. Like, I had bookings planned out and I felt like I wasn't into it more because I was just thinking of this situation. Like, I just kept like, I don't know how to explain. Like, I was just like, kind of blaming myself that I should have taken BIMIT, no matter if it was a returning client or a new client. That's the safest form of deposit. I ended up blocking the dude because I do not want to see him again. And if I do see him, I cannot explain the rage I'm feeling right now. But eventually that all got sorted, and hopefully for the best. I have now learned my lesson. Whether it's new or returning clients, I don't give a flying F. No pay ID. Anyways, this is me all done. I hope you guys have an amazing day ahead, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
I just got scammed, you guys, and I need to tell you this story because this is actually insane. This was a Facebook Marketplace scam, and I have probably bought or sold like over 60 items at this point. Like, I feel like I'm a pro. Okay, here's what happened. I was looking for a specific piece of furniture with a very specific size, specific color, and I was searching for months, and I finally found what I thought was the perfect item. I messaged the lady. I can see that she's like a 2-hour drive away, but I'm willing to go get it. I know that's unhinged, but I like driving. I was like, can I please pick it up on Sunday night? And she said yes. And then I was like, I have a really busy week, I don't know. And I looked back at the description, which was very detailed, by the way, all of the measurements, like the information about the product. And it also says we will deliver locally for $25. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, they probably won't deliver to Milwaukee where I am, but like, I don't know, maybe they will. So I just asked her, like, how much would it be to deliver to Milwaukee? She said, Milwaukee Avenue in Chicago. I said, no, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And she's like, let me check with our delivery team. We work with a local delivery company. I'm like, okay, great, perfect. She gets back to me, says $70. I'm like, okay, that's worth 4 hours of my life, so let's do it. Great. She tells me I have to pay a deposit, which makes sense to me. I know, okay, red flag, paying for something before you see it. I know. I have paid a deposit on Facebook Marketplace before, and it was fine, and it was real, okay? But she was gonna let me pick it up. At this point, of course, I'm like looking through her Marketplace page, and she has about maybe 15 listings, and half of them are marked as sold. They're all pieces of furniture. It looked like all the photos were taken in the same kind of warehouse. So I'm thinking, like, maybe this is a furniture store that went out of business, or like someone's side hustle. I don't know. The lady looks like she's like probably in her 60s or 70s. I'm looking through all of this. I'm reverse image searching her profile picture. I'm Googling her name. Nothing suspicious comes up. She says, do you want to pay the deposit, which was $150? She says, do you want to pay on Apple Pay, Cash App, or Zelle, I think? And I'm also like, okay, she's giving me options, which is pretty unusual for a scammer. It's fully occurred to me like this might be a scam. I tell her Apple Pay works great. She says, okay, I don't have an iPhone, but my daughter does, so we'll send you an invoice and then you can Apple Pay. And I'm like, an invoice? Okay, unusual. It texts me an invoice. This invoice looks so legit, you guys. Like, I showed it to multiple people when I was trying to figure out whether or not I got scammed, and they're like, I think this is real, MK. Like, it looks so real. Also, I could tell it was made on invoicing software that I used to use for my own business. I was like, this is a Wave invoice. I recognize the format. It has their logo, the name of this furniture company. We'll call her Mary. That's not her name, but we'll say Mary's Family Furniture Company. It has the phone number, it has all the delivery info, like literally everything about this invoice checks out. Also, all the grammar is correct. The whole time I'm messaging her, the grammar is correct, which can be another red flag. She's like, okay, send the payment whenever you're ready, but the delivery company only takes cash. So you'll just have to pay them $70 in cash when they deliver it, and then don't pay me the rest till you actually get the product. Also, I mean, that's a green flag to me. Like, they're not rushing me to send money. They're not saying, oh, someone's gonna come pick it up right now unless you just send a deposit. I'm Googling the name of the furniture company. It exists. I'm Googling the address on the invoice. It is a furniture company. I Google everything. It all checks out. And again, I cannot emphasize enough like how long I've been searching for this perfect piece of furniture. So I send the Apple Pay. She says, got it. Thanks so much. We set the time window. We're good to go. I go to sleep feeling like pretty good about this. And then in the morning, I get a confirmation text from the delivery company from a different number. I Google this delivery company I did the night before. It exists. It's a real service. Very legitimate looking confirmation text. And it's like at the end, press 1 to confirm. So I send 1 and they send, your order has been received and confirmed. Then, this is where it all goes downhill. Mary sends me a message like during the delivery window and she's like, hey, the delivery team can't get the vehicle in time, so the delivery is gonna be a little later. And because they're delivering it so far, they really want the payment up front. So I'm gonna have to charge you for that up front as well. And I'm like, I'm not sending you any more money until I see the product. And of course, all the red flags are going off in my head like, God damn it, I got scammed. And again, everything checked out so far. Well, then I say, okay, I'll just come pick it up. I'm gonna pick it up, and when I see the furniture, I will pay you the remaining balance. And she says, okay, does Sunday still work for you? Like, so nonchalant about it. And this is where I put on my FBI goggles. And as all young women know how to do these days, I do a deep dive. Dug a little bit deeper. This person does exist. The photo and the name match on other social medias. There's an Instagram profile, and there's also a Threads profile, which is kind of unique. And they're like replying to what seem like friends who are posting like family vacation photos. And this whole time in my head, I'm thinking, if this is a scam, this is so elaborate. For $150? Like, how has the account not been taken down yet? Like, there's no way that they're scamming multiple people with this whole setup for like so little money and like not getting reported and taken down. But when I searched for the furniture company again and I searched the address again, I learned there is a furniture company with that exact same name in Illinois, but it's a different logo. It's a different company. And the address they sent me is a furniture company, but it's not Mary's Family Furniture. It's a different furniture company. At first I wrote that off by saying like they probably went out of business and it's just that's why they're selling stuff on Facebook, and now I know that's a red flag. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I got scammed for sure, but I'm like, send the $150 back, and I will drive to Illinois and pick it up in one last ditch effort, basically to like make sure, yes, I got scammed, and she refused to send the money back, and that's where I'm like, okay, yeah, got it. Did some more digging at my book group the other night, and figured out that the person who's in the photo and whose name it is deceased. So we found the obit, and damn, scammers are getting so advanced. Also, like, I can respect a good scam, like, as long as you're punching up. I get it. It's a skill, okay? And I thought that made me immune to getting scammed, and it turns out that is not the case. I don't like that they're using a dead person, but I have to respect the hustle. Congratulations. Good job. You got me.
This is the seller's page on Facebook. If you see this, run. And I know these are all underpriced, okay? I know. This is what I was trying to buy. I'm so heartbroken, and the search continues.
Get ready with me for work and story time on how I think I'm getting scammed right now. So basically, I had a thing posted on Facebook Marketplace that I was trying to sell a Lululemon keychain and also some Align leggings. And so basically this girl messaged me and she was like, hey, do you do trades? And I was like, maybe, depends on what you have. And she was like, she sent me a ton of pictures of all the stuff that she had, and they were all my size. And so I picked a scuba and a Swiftly long sleeve shirt. And so she gave me the address to mail it. I gave her my address, and then the next day, she sends me this like really blurry picture of her at the USPS store, and then a very, very blurry picture of the receipt that had the tracking number on it. And so I looked up the tracking number, and on USPS, it like wasn't showing up. It kept saying like that the number was invalid or that they couldn't find the shipment or whatever. Which, by the way, it took me so long to look up the number because the picture was so blurry. It took me like 10 tries to finally decode it. So I couldn't find anything about it on USPS. So then I looked for UPS just to like check. And it shows that that tracking number was for a package that was delivered like in the beginning of December to North Carolina. And by the way, neither of us live in North Carolina. I'm in Virginia and she's in like Minnesota or something like that. Also, I have like no idea like if they like reuse tracking numbers, anything like that. But then I went back to the picture that she sent me, basically the receipt of her shipping it, and I noticed it's like very blurry, so it was really hard to tell, but in the top right corner, I made out the word Charlotte, North Carolina, which is where the tracking number says that package was sent to back in December. And so I messaged her and I was like, hey, like this tracking number is showing that it was delivered like back in December to North Carolina. And then I said, it's with USPS, right? And all she said was, yeah. She didn't even answer the part about the North Carolina or anything like that. And I asked her for a clearer picture of the tracking number because maybe I'm typing it in wrong or something. And she was like, oh yeah, my husband has it in the car. And that was like yesterday afternoon and she still hasn't sent anything. I don't know what to do because I already sent her the package that had the leggings, the keychain, and it cost me like $16 to ship it. I'm really just like hoping that this is all some big misunderstanding and I'm typing in the number wrong and that my package will be here. But And also, she shipped hers a day before I did, but as soon as I dropped mine off at the post office, I could see the tracking number. And I still can't see hers, and she shipped it like 3 days ago.
During my freshman year of college, I overheard the boys in the room above me call me a 6 out of 10. So for context, my freshman year, I was in room 108, and these boys were directly above me in room 208. The windows were basically like this. And whenever my window was open and whenever their window was open, I could hear everything that was going on. This friend group of boys would always meet in 208 and they would smoke together out of the window. So one night I'm going to bed, it's like 1 a.m. and they're in 208 all together smoking. As I'm falling asleep, I have my window open because it's hot in my room. I like to sleep in a ridiculous cold room, and what do you know? I can hear their whole conversation. But things start to get a little crazy when I hear my name get brought up. At the time, I was in a class with two of them, and one of them had a very distinct voice. Like, you know those voices when they speak, you're just like, yep, that's that person, and it's like you don't even have to know them that well to recognize their voice. Well, I could very distinctly hear this one boy start talking about how he has a class with me, and the other one's like, oh yeah, like we all have a class together. Then one of them chimes in and says, yeah, she was one of the first girls I saw on Instagram when I decided I was going to Northeastern. I saw her Instagram and I was like, damn, she's so hot. Starts off great, like I'm not gonna be, mad if someone calls me hot, whatever. But then the one with the very distinct voice starts talking about how in the class that we have together, I don't look nearly the same. They pull up my Instagram, sounds like they're passing the phone along because you're hearing, each of the boys' opinions about me. The one with the very distinct voice, I feel like I need to come up with a name for him, so we're just gonna call him Darren, okay? So Darren is the one that I had a class with, and Darren is also the one that has a very distinct voice. So Darren decides he wants to chime in, and Darren says, oh, she does not look like that in real life. She looks like a 9 out of 10 on Instagram, and a 6 out of 10 in real life. Obviously, after I heard them say this, I was shocked. I was very upset. And, the Darren, I think we're calling him, I forget. After he said that, all the other boys were like, oh yeah, like she's not even hot on Instagram. Like she's not even like that pretty. Like I don't know what like you're saying. She's not even a 9 out of 10. Really ripping on me for no reason. Eventually their conversation moves on. But obviously I don't. I'm still like so upset and so mad. But if you know anything about me, you will know there is no way someone is gonna wrong me and get away with it. I decided the second that I saw Darren the next day, I was gonna confront him. For some reference, we were all abroad together our freshman year, and it was a very small group of us, so I knew that the likelihood of me seeing him was high. So what do you know? I'm walking home from class, back to my dorm building, and I see Darren. He's walking to class, I'm walking back from class. He has his AirPods in, so I stop him, I tap him on the shoulder, I go, you're Darren, right? And he's like, he looks at me all confused, he's like, yeah? And I'm like, so I actually just wanted to let you know I'm in the room right below you and all your friends, and last night I actually did hear everything that you guys had to say about me, and I just wanted to let you know that like I know what it feels like to be in a dark place. I know what it feels like to be insecure and feel down on yourself. So if you ever need someone to talk to or someone to relate to, I just wanted to let you know I am here for you, and you can always reach out to me. His jaw was dropped, to say the least. He looked at me like the only words that he could get out of his mouth were, I am so sorry. And I looked at him and I gave him a great big smile and I said, no, seriously, it is totally okay. And I walked away. Now, of course, he told all his friends that I heard what they all said. But of course he didn't tell them how I confronted him. No. That would be way too embarrassing for him. So he just decided to leave that part out. You know, at the end of the day, if he was going through something and he was obviously very insecure, then it was probably worth it. So, best of luck to you, Darren. I hope that you're doing well out there.
Hey guys, come get ready with me while I talk about a brand deal I did where I ended up getting scammed. This car alarm has been going off for like 10 minutes. Okay, so this all happened on a different TikTok account I have where I was like actively posting. I had my email in my bio and I was actively reaching out to brands and brands were also actively reaching out to me. I'm gonna name drop this brand at the end of the video, so if you want to hear who it was, keep watching. But this brand was a brand that I had never heard of previously. But they reached out to me via email and it seemed super professional. I looked up like videos of other creators working with this brand and like it all seemed legit, which I was a little scared of at first. Like I just wanted to make sure that this was an actual brand just like going into this. So yeah, I did my research on this brand and everything seemed to check out. And basically in the first email it was like the marketing or something person, I don't know, but they like reached out, they introduced themselves, talked about the brand, and asked if I would be open to working with them. I was a little bit hesitant of working with this brand at first, just because I hadn't really worked with any brands like that before, but after doing my research, like I said, like it seemed fun. So I emailed back asking for more information. And like when I tell you, we had this email thread with about like 30 emails in it. Like this was well discussed. This wasn't just like a in the moment thing. We discussed what kind of video they wanted me to post. We discussed like deadlines for when it had to be posted by. We discussed like budget and how much they would pay me, and just all of the details. And it ended up being like I had to post 2 videos by a certain day, and they wanted me to send the videos to them for approval. Once they approved it and I posted it, I would get paid. So all of this conversation about just details about this project was over the span of about like 2 weeks. Like I think sometimes people don't realize, and I definitely didn't realize before going into this, like how much work brand deals, I suppose, like go through and how many people they go through. Like I had always assumed it was just a quick little film a video, get paid, but there's just so much more that goes into it behind the scenes. So I had filmed my video finally after discussing everything, and I spent some time figuring out like what I wanted to film, how it would match with just like what I was already posting, and how it would relate to my content specifically. So after I filmed the video, I sent it to them, and they did want me to change like 1 or 2 little things. Nothing bad, it was more of like, they were like, oh, can you elaborate on this specific part of our brand, like in the video? Like there's a section I was just kind of vague about it and they wanted me to like elaborate a bit more. And then also they wanted the caption to be a little longer and have more to do with their brand. And also they had like, this brand is like a service, you'll find out about it at the end of the video, but they let me like play around with their service, like actually use it and figure it out for myself before I started making content off of it. Okay, so after I posted both videos, and they'd both been approved, uploaded, everything, I reached out to the brand and I was like, thanked them for working with me and told them that both videos had been posted. I shared my analytics with them based off how the video did, how many people it reached, like what age group, gender, and all that it reached, because I know they had wanted to know that information. And I also asked them, I was like, I know we agreed that I'd be paid after both videos were posted. Do you have like a date I could be expected to be paid by? And the person that I had been mainly communicating with, like the marketing or PR director or whatever, emailed me back, and he told me like, I forwarded your payment information. I think they were gonna pay me via like PayPal or something like that. They're like, I forwarded your information to the finance team. They will get that processed and sent to you within like 3 to 5 business days or something like that. And I was like, okay, perfect. So I waited those days, and then after that had passed and I hadn't heard anything or received any money, I reached out to this guy again, and I was like, hey, just checking in. Like, I haven't received anything, I haven't heard anything, like, what's going on, you know, whatever. And he responded, which I was surprised. I was like, okay, if I'm gonna get scammed, like, I would assume nobody would respond. But he responded, and he was like, so sorry, like, I was on vacation, I'm not sure what the delay is. I will reach out to my team immediately and have them, like, prioritize your payment, whatever. And, like, we had multiple email exchanges once again over the span of like 2 weeks, being like, hey, like, what the hell is going on? And then I realized, like, okay, so they're not gonna pay me for my work. And I was a little upset about it, because I was like, okay, what the heck? I just spent like a lot of time emailing and figuring this out. Okay, so now time for the brand reveal. The brand was called 24houranswers.com, and it was like a platform where it's a legit platform. I like checked it out, but it's a platform where students can get like homework help, tutors, just like online classes, that kind of stuff. And it all seemed legit, and I guess it wasn't. Okay, now I'm gonna move into my like main takeaways from this whole situation, like advice, suggestions for any small creators wanting to get into working with brands. Okay, the biggest thing I could say and suggest is to do your research and do thorough research. As you can see in like my situation, I still did my research and it didn't necessarily help. But I will say this is the biggest way to avoid these kind of things is like fact check brands, make sure that they are actually legit. Look up on TikTok if any other creators have worked with them. Look up reviews, just do good research. I would say another big one is, as much as when you're first starting out, you get like excited about the opportunity to work with brands and it's like something you want to do, don't work with brands you've never heard of before. I know getting an email saying like, oh, hey, we want to work with you can be exciting, but don't do it. Just make sure you are working with brands that you've actually used before, you use regularly, you've always wanted to work with them, you've seen other people work with them, you've heard good things. Just fact check all this stuff. Now, I don't want to make working with brands seem like a negative thing, because it can be positive. And I have worked with plenty of brands that I've actually had a really good experience with, received free products that I still use. So if you guys want any of that information, want to hear what videos or what brands I worked with, let me know, and I can make a video on like brands that are good to reach out to if you're a small creator, brands that work with small creators, and any more suggestions and tips. Just let me know. I hope this video helped at least one of you navigate how to work with brands and just hear about my experience, and I'll see you guys next time.
Okay, the card has your name on it?
Yes.
All right, and go ahead with the number, please.
It's 3, 2, 1. Good evening. We are live on television right now with an investigation into scam callers. We have the FBI on the line. They are tracking this phone number as we speak. Sir, what is your full name again?
If you see any influencers promoting any of these items, run. Anyone that's selling a supplement that claims to de-bloat you. First of all, can we normalize bloating? It's normal. What happens when you put air in a balloon? It's literally the same concept of putting food in your body. And instead of spending like $50-something on these supplements, why don't you just go on a walk? Next is anyone promoting any kind of green powders. If you're willing to spend your money on those green powders, just buy some vegetables. You can't convince me that those green powders are actually healthier than real vegetables because they come from the same thing. And the green powder is processed. Don't get me started on those weight loss pills. First of all, what makes you think that a pill is gonna undo years of bad habits? Second of all, if it's that magical, why is the obesity rate so high? And you're sitting here wondering why you're still big and broke. It's really just calories in, calories out. Anyway, that's it for this video, and let's be smart with our money.
I got scammed out of over $100,000, so I'm gonna tell y'all about it. The past couple months, I haven't had a TikTok management, and I have been doing it all on my own. About 2 weeks ago, I got a message from what I thought was Urban Outfitters, and they were offering me a 6-month partnership for $50,000. I quite literally screamed when I got the email that said that they wanted to collab with me because Urban Outfitters is one of my dream brands to work with. I was literally shopping at Urban Outfitters the same day that I got the email they wanted to work with me. I was so excited. I called my mom instantly telling her that I was going to work with Urban Outfitters, and everything seemed so legit, honestly. They sent me a contract, everything. I had someone look over the contract. I looked over the contract, and I thought I had just got myself a $50,000 brand deal, which would have been the biggest one I've ever got myself. About a week goes by, and they tell me that I can pick as many items on their website as I wanted, which honestly should have been my first red flag, but I was like, Urban Outfitters is a huge brand. They have the money to send me as many items because that's like nothing to them. So I thought. After that, they told me that the items I picked were perfect and that they were very happy with my selections and that we could move forward. And I was through the moon, guys. I literally cried. I was so excited for this brand deal. That's how much I wanted to work with them. And there's only one other brand deal that I've ever cried over. So it was a big deal. But then last week I was in the Bahamas and I got the email that made everything go downhill. It was an email of them asking me to pay an independent contractor fee of like $300, which to me made absolutely no sense. But I was like, you know what? Maybe I just don't understand this. And then they sent me an email of who to send the money to. And this is when I knew everything was about to go downhill because the email was like a random person's email. Like it didn't say Urban Outfitters. It didn't say anything. It was a random person. So I decide to message Urban Outfitters on Instagram and be like, hey, like, is this you guys? I just want to make sure that this is Urban Outfitters emailing me with this brand deal before I send them $300. And that is the moment I lost it because I got a reply saying that that brand deal was not them and that email was a scam. And that is when I found out Urban Outfitters actually did not want to work with me and it was just someone trying to scam me. And you would think that the story ends here, but there is actually a whole nother $50,000 that I got scammed out of. So I am going to tell y'all about that in a different part. But yeah, Urban Outfitters, please work with me because you are my dream brand to work with. Bye.
Good morning, beautiful people. Get ready with me while I talk about a horrible experience that I had yesterday about a fake collaboration email that is going around. I wanted to collab with Kopari. So I was reaching out to them and I got an email from them supposedly, and it was saying like, hey, like, we want to collab with you, here's all the information, this is what you would get paid, and like, we'll send you packages, blah 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 blah. You guys, this looked so real, and I didn't think like, hey, this is fake. Like, I was so happy and excited that I didn't even think, to think that it was fake. It looked so legit. They sent me a PDF. They sent me the link to actual Kopari's website to pick out the PR stuff. Okay, sorry. And they actually had the marketing manager's name. And so I called my friend that is a vendor for Kopari. She's the coordinator. And I was like, oh my God, like, look at this. Like, I got reached out to collab. Like, I'm so excited. She's like, oh my God, I love her. Like, she's so amazing. This is so big for you. That's so awesome. And then, she's like, tell them I say hello. So I did. And I never heard like a response back from like, hey, tell her we said hello, we love her. Like, I didn't hear none of that. I was like, okay, maybe they're just like getting to the point. So they sent me information to fill out. They sent me like a PDF of Kopari. It looked so real. Like, I have no idea how they made it look so real. And I'll post videos about it later when I get home from work, and show you guys like what the email looks like. It's also from a Gmail. I didn't know that they will not, like, brands don't have Gmails. So just know that that's a scam right off the bat. But I literally had no idea. So after that, they're like, okay, like they're sending me all this and like what's gonna happen and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my God, okay, like I'm so excited. Thank you for this opportunity. And I was just like so happy, like as if I was a kid in a candy store for the first time. You can only imagine how happy I was. Okay. And then so then they're like, okay, like it's gonna be $99 to start. This is gonna cover like your shipping for the next 3 months. And like, honestly, I didn't think anything of it being a scam because I've been reached out to about like, I don't know, their jewelry brands, and they're like, oh, pick out all this, this stuff and then we'll ship it to you, but there's a shipping fee. Now, I didn't know that like they'll never ask you for money whatsoever. And I didn't know, like, I'm like, okay, like shipping sounds, you know, it sounds legitimate because they are shipping it to you. But again, they're wanting you to, you know, like, I'm just like, okay, like maybe this is whatever. So besides that, I was like, okay, this is completely normal. So I told Sheila, and she's like, $100 for what? Like, what are you paying $100 for? And I told her, and she's like, that doesn't sound right. Let me just check with my manager just to be sure, because they shouldn't be asking you for money, but maybe they do. Like, I don't know, because she's just the vendor part, you know. So she's like, okay. So like a while goes by and I sent them all my information at this point. So I was like so excited and happy and thinking that, you know, I'm not getting scammed. And then comes to find out, they don't ask for money, and it was not them. I don't know who they are, obviously, but their email looks authentic. And again, I had no idea, like, brands don't have Gmails. So that was the first option, but I reached out to them. So I was like, oh, they're just reaching back to my, you know, my email. And so I was like, well, this really sucks. Like, I was so happy. And then like, it just rained in my parade. Like, I got so sad. I've been thinking about it all day yesterday and all day today. And I'm just like super upset that, you know, people are doing this. I mean, they're only asking 100, but 100 is still 100. And it's like, who the heck would want to do that? Like, it's so rude. And I was thinking how they made it look so professional and how they like managed to, you know, dot everything of what you would do. Well, there's ChatGPT, and I'm thinking that's probably what they used. So just keep an eye out. I did a lot of research last night on my own about collaborations and how it works and stuff, and brands will never have a Gmail. They won't ask for shipping of any type of cost for shipping or like a contract. No money is involved. They send you everything and pay you for your engagement and doing your PR packages and stuff. So don't be so naive like I was. I thought it was too good to be true, but I was so excited. So Kopari, if you are seeing this, I am interested in collabing with you, and I would love to get with you guys. So please let me know. But yeah, everybody just be safe out there and really use your resources and look, because I could have gotten scammed $100. But again, I will post all the emails and the PDF to a video on here later and show you guys like what it would look like, what it did look like, and go from there, because this messed up and I'm really angry about it and I'm still not over it. So I was just like, this is unbelievable. Like, I cannot believe that people actually go out of their way and try to scam people to be, you know, like, it's just insane what this world's come to. But anyway, just be aware. I'm gonna finish getting ready for work, but I just wanted to let you guys know, because again, if you don't know anything about collabing, like this is your first time trying to be an influencer, and you have no idea that, you know, you just don't know how things roll in the process and the certain standards that they have, don't get scammed like I did. Just do your research, please. And also another red flag I should have paid attention to was their payment method. It was like Zelle, PayPal, what else? Apple Pay, some weird stuff I've never heard. And I'm actually assuming that a big brand like that would actually pay like payroll. So just be aware of those too. That was another sign that, I didn't think about. When you're just so happy and set, you just don't want to think about the bad news. So yeah, I'm just grateful that I have a friend in the business and she knows the people and she could actually, reach out and ask them, because I almost made a fool of myself getting scammed. And honestly, who has like $100 just to lose these days? So just be careful, beware out there, beautifuls. Don't get too excited like I did. And I hope you all have a great day. And again, just be careful. Bye.
What have we learned? If a brand's email is looking different, it's probably because it is different and it's not real. And if you're like really confused on if it's real or not, contact the actual company and ask them if that person, that email belongs to them. Also, it's a bit of a red flag if they don't respond to your pitch. So usually you'll pitch to the brand and then they'll respond under it with like, yes, we'd love to collaborate, or no, we're not interested in collaborating, we're like currently at full capacity. If they're not responding to your pitch, then they may or may not be a scam. I don't know. You gotta check. Another thing, if they are rushing the process, don't give out your address, don't sign contracts, don't sign invoices, literally no personal information. Do not send to that brand until you can verify that they are real. Yeah, there's definitely gonna be signs. It's not gonna be rainbows and sunshine the whole time. If it is, then that really sucks. They're getting smarter and smarter, guys. And all of the jewelry people in my comments, it's not gonna happen. I'm not responding to you.
Alright, so let me tell you guys why being an entrepreneur is not what it seems, and there's a bunch of bullshit that comes with it. Alright, so I was doing a transaction down in Miami. You guys know I just moved out here, and apparently a client wanted a lot of chrome, right? So his total came out to $10,500. I got the money, but the money was all fake. I lost $10,500 worth of items today. And then earlier this week, I had a business transaction go wrong with an online partner that I work with. So I lost $10,000 there, which brought my total losses for this week alone $20,000. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys I'm not absolutely pissed and honestly trying to do everything I can right now to just keep my head together and push forward. But I just want to show you guys that there's definitely a lot of bullshit that comes with this game. And it's not like what it seems at all. You really have to have a very strong mindset when you do stuff like this, and it's fucked.
Okay guys, story time has been filmed. Follow me. It is coming in the next hour. I need to edit it now and add in all my screenshots. You guys know me. I like my receipts and I like my screenshots. I'm back in my story time era. I'm nervous. It's filmed. I need to edit it now. Bye.
Where the fuck the function? Where the fuck the function? The way I feel right now, I feel like we need to be all alone. So if you just playing around, you need to tell your girl to the finance.
Ever since I started posting about pay pigs and then people have access to my Cash App or Venmo, not every day, but a few times a week, I'll get a payment request from someone. And I think they're trying to be sneaky, like tricky, because sometimes they'll word it like wanted to bless you, but it's actually a request. So they're hoping that I accidentally hit like approve payment. And thankfully, I'm not as dumb as I look. But then sometimes like one person sent me a message last week and was like requesting $800 and with like this whole story of like, I'm a single mom. And it like, it's not that I don't believe her, but it just felt icky. I don't know. I was just like, oh. But then like one girl messaged me on here last week with a link to her Cash App and she was like, support me pay pig style. And I was like, all I said in response was, I'm not a pay pig. And then she blocked me. But then yesterday, one of them got me. This girl messaged me on TikTok and she was like, my son is almost out of formula. And I was like, please. I go to her profile and I'm like, okay, this looks like a legit person. And she was actively like posting within the last like 24 hours. And she had kids. I went to her Venmo. I like looked at the transactions to see if like other people had been sending money and they didn't. And then I felt really guilty. So I did send her $50 for formula. And I was like, you know, whether it's a scam or not, I don't think it is, and I would rather like make that mistake of like accidentally sending it to a scammer instead of like not sending it to somebody that could actually use it.
So I nearly got scammed on Depop, and I'm going to let you guys know what went down because so it doesn't ever happen to you. So basically, I signed up to Depop on the weekend as I found a couple of things that I want to sell, and I posted my first item on Depop. So I uploaded the photos, filled in all the details, and that was basically it. 5 minutes literally after I posted this one item, I got a message on Depop saying, hey, I want to purchase this item. Can you put in your email address in your bio, because I can't seem to go through the process of purchasing the dress without your email. And I was like, okay. And which it seemed like the message seemed really, really legit. So I went into my settings, into my bio, put in my email address, went into the messenger, and I was like, hey, all good, go right ahead. So she like messages me again. She's like, hey, I put in my offer, check your emails. And I was like, all right, cool. Went into my emails. I got an email from Depop, and it said, hey, like, congrats, someone wants to purchase your item, and click on the link to like accept the payment or whatever. So I clicked on the email, and it took me to a page, like another Depop page, and it had all my details, and then it had the buyer's details, like her name, email address, address that it was going to, so somewhere in South Australia, and the amount that she was purchasing the item for. The amount was a lot more than what I had originally had posted the dress for. So I had posted the dress for 140. She wanted to pay me 178. And then I was just like, okay, that's weird. Her email address didn't match up to her name either, but that can happen sometimes. But the amount was what got me. So I went and messaged her back, and I was just like, hey, are you actually purchasing the dress for 178 when I'm selling it for 140? And she was just like, yep. I was like, okay, that's weird. And I thought maybe Depop has fees, like, you know. So I went on to Google Depop fees, and it was only 10%. So I was just like, okay, that doesn't make $178 doesn't make up that 10%. So that was weird. Thought that was off. But anyways, down the bottom of the email, the link of the email was a part where it said, put in your debit card or credit card details to accept payment. And I was just like, that is so weird. Like, why do I need to do this? When I set up my Depop account, it said link your PayPal so you can accept payment. So I went onto the help chat thing that was on the bottom of the link, and I clicked on it. I was just like, hey, like, why do I need to put in my credit card or debit card details to accept payment because when I set up my account, I had linked to my PayPal. And the help assistant person was like, said, oh, because like we don't accept PayPal, you need to put in your debit or credit card to accept payment. And I was just like, but why? Like, I linked my PayPal, and they were like, because that's the way it is, basically. Like, we don't accept PayPal, it's credit card or debit. And that's when I was just like, okay, something's fucking weird. So I went back onto the chat, and the girl had said to me, hey, why is this taking so long? I'm getting worried. And I'm like, hey, it's because this is my first transaction. I'm just figuring out a few things. And so I went back into my emails, and I got another 3 emails saying, congrats, like, you know, start the process of shipping out your item to your buyer. And then I got another 2 that said basically like the same things, like confirm that you're accepting the payment, blah blah blah. I just found this all so bizarre. And so when I looked at the emails again, I was looking at the sender and to see what email address it came from, and all 4 emails had come from random email addresses. And I was just like, okay, this is a fucking scam, like complete scam, because even though all the 4 emails looked legit, like when you look at it, it was those 4 email addresses that were like weird. They didn't match up to like a Depop email address. So I was just like, okay. So I messaged her, and I'm like, this is such a scam, like, go away, you know? And she just never responded, and that was it. Like, if I didn't see that she had wanted to pay me $178 when my dress was listed at $140, if I didn't think that it was weird that they wanted my debit card and credit card details to accept payment, if I didn't like go onto the chat thing to question it, and if I didn't go back into the emails and look at the like email addresses that it was sent from, like I would have just been scammed if I had like just uploaded my details, because I thought I made a sale within 5 minutes, you know. But yeah, nah, what a scam. And I honestly, Depop was like the last place I thought I could get scammed, but looks like you can get bloody scammed anywhere and everywhere. So that was a lesson learnt. Now I'm scared and I don't want to sell anything, and I'll just give all my shit away. Like I cannot be bothered going through that shit again.
For my Toronto people that like to Uber, I wanted to share this kind of sketchy thing that happened to me this past weekend. So I was at Union Station and I ordered an Uber, basically like right in front of the Fairmont. And I'm tracking the driver's location. I see he's on York Street, he's making a right, and a car pulls up. It's the same car that's listed on my app, but completely different license plate. And I look at the driver and he's not the same person on my app. So I'm like, okay, this might be someone else's Uber. So I walk down on the street and I'm trying to find my car. Cannot find him anywhere. I ping the driver multiple times and he doesn't answer. At this point, it says he's been there for 5 minutes. And I'm like, okay, I need to cancel this because my cancellation fee just kept going higher and higher. So now I'm standing in the spot where it said he was, and I cancel the Uber and I order a new one. So I order a new one, and the car that accepts is the car that's standing in the spot where my original driver should have been. And I'm like, this is so weird, because my original car is nowhere to be seen. And he immediately accepted my request. And it was the same car, same color, just different license plate and different driver. So I get in the car, maybe I'm just being a bit sensitive, but I could feel some sort of weird vibes. I feel like maybe he had 2 cell phones that he was using for his app. And maybe he was trying to get like money from the cancellation fees. That whole experience was just so weird to me, and I've never had that happen to me before. So let me know if you've had something like that happen to you. I reached out to Uber and they gave me a refund for the cancellation fee, so that worked out. But if this ever happens to you, just be sure you have a friend who has your location, and make sure to be on the phone with someone while you're in the car. Yeah, but let me know if you've had any like weird experiences in Toronto too.